Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and today I'm going to chat with you guys and gals a little bit about how really most of the best coaches write some of the most simple programming yet produce phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal athletes. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below and drop me a comment, I would appreciate it so much. This is something I have realized more and more the longer I coach. Something I've come to realize. And I do a lot of conjugate stuff for some of my clients, but I'd say even conjugate can almost fall into this category if you just understand the basic idea. As long as you understand the fatigue management, but it's still not the simplest. But I do a lot of simple programming, especially for my older guys, who they're not impressed by me wowing them. They're just impressed with results, and they're just like, Coach, I'm 45 and I'm hitting deadlift PRs. I'm hitting overhead press PRs. I'm getting, and they've been training for 15 years. So those guys, they're impressed with just getting results. They're like, I'm getting bigger, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting leaner. And, that's all they care about. And I think people have to remember that with your clients. And a lot of coaches go the other direction. And I'll explain why they do in a minute. And I get it. I mean, as a coach and a businessman who wants my business and I want client retention, I understand these traps that coaches fall into. And I think a lot of people listening should understand this. And an example, I look at stuff like Dan John. Right? Dan John, the man's been coaching over 30 years. Phenomenal athlete himself, great track record, who took his approach as an athlete and became a great coach. And he even wrote this thing called Simple Strength. He wrote some of the most ridiculously, basically stupid, simple programming that he gives to people, but it works. And I want people to think about that for a moment. A highly respected, absolutely highly respected coach like that writes stupidly simple programs and gives to people, and they get results. These are the conclusions that man has reached after 30 years of coaching and decades of competing in a variety of sports and strength sports himself. Yet that's the conclusions he's come to. I should tell you something. I've seen guys like my friend, even Christian Thibodeau. I've seen him put up a just work on these 5 lifts. He'll give people 5 lifts. And I mean, it won't even always be your classic lifts. It's like, I saw him put out one with just some double progression. And with the lifts were stuff like a Zercher squat, a trap bar deadlift. You're looking at a push press. You look at some of this and go, what are you doing, Christian? But it works. Guys standing here giving out programs with 5 exercises using double progression and is more than happy to hand it to absolutely advanced athletes. I mean, he's willing to say, yeah, here, take this as a scholarship college football player. You'll be fine. You'll get strong and jacked. Right? You're not take this as a strong, you'll be fine. He's handing them stuff like this. Extremely respected coach with a lot of experience, plenty of credentials. Okay. What should this tell you? I mean, because are we going to look at either one of those guys? Is anybody really going to look at Dan John or Christian Thibodeau and say they aren't a good coach? Are we going to say they don't have tons of experience coaching a wide variety of really serious athletes in a variety of fields? Are we going to say they both weren't crazy strong themselves at different points? We can't make that statement, can we? That would just be a lie, right? So you can't really say that. I've watched stuff like the Boogs run really simple programs. Get great results and put people on them. Whether you consider Boogs a great coach or not is subject to debate. But people got results. What does this tell us? And it's the thing I've noticed as a coach. I have workouts where I have 6 lifts. I have advanced middle-aged lifters. When I say middle-aged, I'm talking guys who are $170, $175. They still squat 400, deadlift 500, crank out pull-ups, bunches of pull-ups, who do some various different sports. Like one of my guys, he's just been PRing after PR again. Well, in season, he's doing like flag football thing that he does kind of in the summer times, right? But he's been making gains while recomping. He's been getting leaner. I have him on a 3-day program with an A and a B workout. He does like 4 exercises in each one. And we rotate some of them, but it's really, truly simple stuff. All right, ridiculously simple. Like, we have a deadlift, a barbell row overhead press one day. Right? Squat, bench, pull up on another. And then we have some smaller stuff at the end. And then he does box jumps and he pushes a prowler. Okay? And I have him pretty much more or less doing a double progression. I've had him for years. He keeps coming back. I can put him on a program like that. He gets results. He's like, yeah, but I'm not beat up. I'm getting results. So I'm not going anywhere. He's like, buy another 6-month package. He's been doing it for years, 6 months at a time. He's buying them ahead of time. But see, when you give stuff like that, and a lot of people would go, how can you give a client programming like that? Like, they're just going to quit. And it's like, but they don't. I put some of my longest lasting clients, and again, we're talking guys squatting over 400 pounds, middle-aged guys, not blasting gear and stuff, squatting over 400 pounds, who are not fat, sub 200 pound middle-aged dads, on programming like that, who compete in a couple. They do some amateur stuff, some biting, or BJJ, some flag football, different things, right? Golf. Okay? And they make progress. And people say, well, how could you, aren't you scared they're going to leave? And they're like, no, because I get them results. They're like, I don't hurt. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm the strongest and most jacked of my entire life, and I don't hurt. And everyone asks me for workout advice now in my circles. Yeah, we give them simple programming. I do the same. So I got several guys like that. Other guys, even some of the younger guys in their late 20s or 30s. They're super busy. One of my kids now, he's like, he wants to work on his 5K, so he runs a lot. He doesn't want his training to interfere. He's full-time student with a full-time job and then trying to train like that. He barely has any time. He's like, man, you hand me this stuff and I just keep making gains. Like, I'm getting stronger. I don't get it because I barely have time to squeeze my workouts in. You give me these little simple full-body programs. And my run time, he's like, I hit PR miles, PR 5Ks while getting stronger, and I have no free time. And that's the point. The simple programming, if you know how to do it, works. You have to stop wowing your clients. Everything with periodization and all the complexity is to wow and impress clients with your vast knowledge. But what is our job as coaches? What's our job? To sell them this linear periodization program to where we do a deload at the end after we have them overreach? Or are they paying us to get them results? It's simple, works, flat out if you know how to program it.